Musicians in Conversation is a series of fun talks that we have. Especially we have this platform called the Pallikoodam where we are trying to take art online, and
Mm-hmm.
it's always a pleasure to talk to artists. Kind of discover every individual process. It's so
Yes.
unique, and you of course, I remember you as the one and only rapper, female rapper from Chennai.
Thank you. Yes.
So it's lovely to have you on board once again. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for this initiative, though. Thank you for calling me. I'm so excited to be here.
Pleasure is ours. What's the latest? What's happening on the creative space with you? Like what are you really doing right now?
All right. So regarding music, I've been kind of low key on my Instagram because
Mm-hmm.
I have been
Mm-hmm.
recording music.
Okay.
I've been recording my EP. So an EP of 5 songs is getting ready,
Wow.
and it'll be out in a couple of months.
Lovely.
So far it's coming along really good. We have some exciting collaborations on the EP, and
Okay.
I feel like I'm really excited for this because I have now explored a lot of new styles. The last
Mm-hmm.
time I put out something was like 2 years ago, and obviously in
Mm-hmm.
these 2 years I grew a lot. I have learned what I want musically, what
Yeah.
resonates more when I make music, what feels like Nejm. And so I
Mm-hmm.
feel like this EP is going to be a good, um, a good portfolio, I'd say, for me.
Lovely, lovely. See,
Thank
in
you.
your Instagram might have not really heard your music in a while, but I'm sure it can never be far away from you, because I'm sure you, like you said rightly, like you've taken a break to create something, to create a new portfolio, to kind of come up with something really cool and interesting. I have to tell you like how excited I first felt when I heard your lines on Bhel Puri. Of course, Suchi and I were like really
Oh
chilling,
yeah.
and we were just having fun, and we just came up with this fun song that probably while we were eating Bhel Puri,
I know.
we
Actually, we did go to eat Murugan idli though. We didn't go to eat Bhel
uh,
Puri.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But like I love the fact like how you came in with a complete like, what should I say? You took that song into a completely different place. You had a message even in a song like that. You had something to talk to people about. Something to share. So tell me, what is your process of writing, and of course you're collaborating. I've heard your tracks before. You played me a lot of your tracks when we met up for shoot and all of that, and you collaborate with producers. You've always been doing that. So tell me, what's your process of writing, and what it means for you to be like doing such independent stuff.
All right. So when it comes to writing, I um, I will be very honest. I do get the writer's block, but then I don't force myself to write. But when I sit and write, I like to tell a story with my work, to be honest. I just
Mm-hmm.
can't simply just write something or
Mm-hmm.
talk about things that I can't relate to. So even when it
Mm-hmm.
comes, for example, to the Bhel Puri Pani Puri song, how much can I talk about Bhel Puri Pani Puri? I will not be. So I try to take it in like I try to talk about. We enjoy Bhel Puri, Pani Puri. It's not something we eat on our own, but I mean,
Right,
we make
right.
and eat, but we buy it from the store. So I was like, okay, when we go to a chaat shop, how that person is when they are making Bhel Puri, Pani Puri. It's not like it's a high paying job. So even when I'm making music, I try to tell a story through my rap.
Mm-hmm.
It can be my story. It could be like a certain topic that I take up, but like I just want to keep it like more interesting and just
Mm-hmm.
not throw around words like, I mean, I'm no hate, but like I can't talk about things I can't relate to. I would prefer to like relate to even when I'm rapping it live. It's more about how when I'm rapping it, am I feeling it when I'm performing? You know,
Mm.
I
Right,
write it on the
right, right.
basis of that.
Nice. That's cool. So where did all start from? Like, how did you like emerge with this? Because today it really seems every time we hear you rap and everything, there's so much maturity. There's so much of things that that it's very evident that you've gone through a process, which is kind of shaped up, be it the rhymes, be it the words that you're today very comfortably flowing into, But how did it all start? Like, how did that happen for you? Like, how did you
So
discover this?
to be honest, in 2016, my stepmom and my dad got me a guitar, thinking I would
Mm,
start playing the guitar. I did go for
mm,
like 2 classes, and I was like, I want to grow my nails. This is not happening. I don't think I want to play the guitar. I'd rather have nails. And so even when I was trying to do covers, I had to sing, right? The covers. And I was like, I sound horrible. This is not my thing. And so I tried to like do covers of like the rap part in the songs. Like, so I
mm,
think Girls Like You was really
mm.
popular in like
Okay.
that time. So I tried that
Right.
rap, and then I was like, okay, this is nice. But then um, after some point in 12th standard, I did not have access to a phone. And so, but I was a huge BTS fan, and like I used to listen to a lot of hip hop and all, like Sugar and all in
Mm-hmm.
BTS. But and so the songs just stuck in my head, like the rap
Mm-hmm.
of a lot of songs, but not the lyrics because I can't sing. So I would just rap out the lyrics. And so when I was in 12th, I was honestly like really stressed out. I was also going through a lot. So I started writing down my
Mm-hmm.
thoughts because honestly, how long can you stare at a ceiling for? Like you all you can do is study, but like during that time when you
Yeah.
have to prepare for your examinations, you gotta like
Mm-hmm.
you gotta distract yourself some way. So
Oh,
I started writing, and after we were done, before like the exams and all begin, we had Teachers Day in school, and in
okay.
Kendra Vidyalaya we get to dress up as teachers, and
Oh.
so we get to dress up as teachers. It's our day. So Teachers Day, the
Mm.
students in 12th standard take over. And so
Okay.
I decided to write a rap for Teachers Day. Okay. I mean, when I
Wow.
look back at it, I cringe. Okay. I cringe really hard because it was a really good rap. I wrote the entire lyrics, and I talked about, I don't remember it much, but I spoke about how, like, when I say I have to come, may I come in, sir? And the sir is like, don't come in. And like, it was a whole storyline, and the teachers loved it. Everybody was like,
Okay.
wow, you're amazing. You should actually do this. And my English sir actually came up to me and he's like, yeah, I knew you weren't like book smart for a reason. I think this is it. I
Mm.
think this is for you.
Okay.
I was like,
Wow.
okay, I don't know if this is a compliment. What should I do? But so that was the first time I rapped, and that was the
Mm.
first verse I ever. I actually wrote another song, but that was the verse I rapped out loud, in public, and I got like a really good reaction. But after that,
Mm.
I just realized that it was like a vent for me. It was honestly I started writing more to get to release all the things that I couldn't talk about in my head to people.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when I realized that few things that are, acceptable, I can start
Mm.
posting. So once I started posting it on my Instagram, I realized that this is actually what I want to do.
You had the space, you had the words, you had the emotions, you had the feelings, you found a way, to kind of merge them together, put those emotions into words. But is there also any, I also know you've been in a collaborative space. Have you ever had the opportunity to kind of learn from other rappers, like jam with them? But where did you actually get that kind of a confidence? In the sense, I understand people appreciate you, of course the people on Instagram support you, and they are your friends and your family. That's obviously the place where it all starts from. But did you also have any collaborative learning in your journey? Did you have any such process?
I mean, so honestly, initially it started with the Porkalam, the rap battles that were happening here on a terrace. I
Oh.
got to meet a lot of artists and a lot of men, like male artists in the industry. Like there are a lot of lyricists in the scene here, and I made a song with MC Devesh. I made a song when I made a song with you and Suchi also. When I sat there in the studio, it was my second time, but this was very professional compared to my other first time. So I saw
Right.
how you all sit and like exactly what to do. You're telling me, so you're all very prepared, like you know what
Mm.
you want, and that's when I
Mm.
learned a lot because usually I would wing it, and but then I realized I
Mm.
can wing it at home, but like when you go to the studio, I gotta like the way you were like, okay, why don't you put an ad lib here? Why don't you put an ad lib at
Mm.
the end? Why don't you
Mm.
laugh here? It would be nice when you're making the song. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so there are these little small elements other than just rapping that make a
Mm.
song. So I learned a
Right.
lot in that way, to be honest. Yeah.
That's nice. That's cool because one thing that always amazed me, especially in the whole art, like the whole art of rapping, is the spontaneity. You know, there seems to be a certain kind of explosion of spontaneity. Of course, there could be some form of preparation. I'm guessing there could
Yeah.
be some
Yes,
way
yes.
that you lead yourself into that. But it just amazes me like how you can just come out, throw in words, and so the words just excites the listener, in a way that it's like so thought provoking.
Okay, I can do a verse that is coming up in the new song. So it goes, go high on the beat, I be grooving on repeat. Making music, yes indeed, Nino in the seed. Oh my God, this is it. We gonna jump with the heat. Bitch, I'm a boss to your eyes, I'm a treat like a. What you mean to say like a? I'ma take your breath away, okay. Every ass likes to hear himself break till today. I have always for my way. So this is a small one.
Cool,
Thank
super
you.
cool, super cool. I mean, of course, I can see like you have a lot of secrets. You seem to have a lot of tricks down your sleeves, which I can see right now. But that's amazing. That's so cool that you've been able to like explore the art to such depths. Where in such a young age, and that very clearly shows the kind of passion that you have towards what you do and love that you have towards what you do. But is there any form of has there ever been any form of a formal training or some kind of a system that you practice? Like, is there any form of a practice that you do in your schedule or something like that?
Okay,
Like, do you?
honestly, I practice more on my style, my flow, my delivery, but not the writing part. Because when I look back at my writing, since like
Mhm.
stuff I wrote when I was 18, I'm truly impressed by myself. I'm like, girl, you wrote that.
Okay.
Like, you were 18 and you wrote that. Like, okay. So when it comes to
Wow.
writing, I feel like it just came naturally. I
Mm,
honestly did not get any training for that, but when it
mm,
comes to the flow, delivery, performance wise, I do get very conscious sometimes, but when it comes to the flow and delivery, I worked a lot on my expressions. Like I started making sure my rap is not just like me spitting, but it's more about me expressing, like having voice modulation. Like I wanted to
mm,
sound like if it's a question, if it's a statement, if I'm sad, if I'm angry, all of it just through the way I'm delivering my rap. But when it
mm.
comes to writing, I just make sure that I don't have lame ass rhymes at the end, like cat,
Yeah.
mac, sat, like, I just don't want that. So I make sure it's like a two syllable rhyme. So instead of it being cat, I would be instead of CAT ending it with one syllables, I will end it with two syllables. Like men, and then I'll go feminine. Like,
Mm.
it would just instead of having men just ending it in one syllable, just make it three syllables by the end, so that just goes like you can change up the flow a bit by the end. That's what
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
do
yeah.
when it comes to writing. But I feel more it depends more on the delivery part, because you can write lame stuff, but it's the way you wrap it, the way you record it, the cadence
Mm.
that matters more.
Okay. Tell me, at what point did you decide to release your first song or perform for the first time? Like, what was that experience like? Your first performance, or was it a first release, like where people heard you and uh, kind of how was that experience?
Okay, my first song, What You Want, right now, I'm not very proud of it, because it wasn't just me. It had a lot of people involved in that song. Like it went through so much, a lot of process, like it got filtered 3, 4 times. So when it came out, initially I was so excited, but when it came out, I didn't feel it, okay, but like when I perform live, that's completely different. But when it comes to my first song, I know for a fact that I'm gonna be so satisfied when this EP comes out, because this is me as an artist, and this just
Okay.
has like only me involved in it, the
Mm, mm,
creativity
mm,
space. But when it comes to performance, the first time I performed live, I was gonna have a panic attack. Like my hands were sweaty. I was so scared. Then when I went on stage, it just like I just felt safe for some reason. But when I came right out after the stage, after I was done, when I stepped out again, I went back to stage one. Like, so I feel like
Mm,
the stage is just my comfort zone. When I rap, when I start rapping, it just makes me feel
mm,
very safe. But
mm.
otherwise, I am very nervous. So even
Okay,
now, even
okay.
now, even before, I will be drinking 2 bottles of water before I go on stage. You know, like that. I feel like performing has been more my is more my thing. But when
Mm,
it comes to music, this EP will talk rather than my
that's
first
true.
song.
Really can't wait to hear it, Nejm. I think it's
Thank
really
you.
exciting. You saying it, the way you're putting it, it's really very exciting. Of course, we in our course also we talk to people. We talk to a lot of learners about performance, anxiety. Where we tell them that that's probably why you need to spend ample time, like kind of rehearsing, not really practicing as in mindless practice, but where you put in your focus and try and create a personalized experience, inside your house, where you are so comfortable with the art that eventually, even on a stage, you get on a stage where there are so many thousands or 10 thousands of people, but the art takes over, because that comfort you've already experienced, you've already created that relationship with the art in a very comfortable space. So that kind of takes over, like rightly when you
True.
said, through
Very
your
true.
experience. I think that whole thing just takes over and just makes everybody invisible, at least for that period of time, and you're entirely true. Even today, when I walk up on stage after so many years of doing what I do, I walk up on stage, I have to spend like 5 minutes looking at everybody, like
Yeah.
calming myself down. I'm like,
Yes.
hey, how are you guys? And then the first song
Hmm.
has to take off, and then something like you just said, right,
Yeah, and just
happens. Just
vanishes. I get what you mean.
about how are you, like, what are your plans with your uh, promotions of the album, like when you come up with a work, like you've created something, now you put your blood and sweat and ideas and everything, and you've created a really interesting thing. Now how do you take it forward? Do you have anybody as a team who helps you, or uh, do you make your own strategies on social media? How does it go, like?
So I have been pretty dumb in that area because
Mhm.
I did not really make music for people. I made it for myself. I always wrote
Mhm.
for myself, and I used my social media platform as a way to just release what I have in me. And it
Mhm.
started getting attention, and it that was a good part. That was the good part of whatever this. The outcomes were good, but
Mhm.
I never have really put much effort on the promotion part.
Mhm.
I'm not bragging, but it's just I've got naturally by God's grace, I have got
Mhm.
the attention which I'm very grateful for.
Right.
People have approached and they've asked. So right now, I cannot disclose the label, but I am going to
Mhm.
be signing with a label soon, who are going to be
Nice.
taking care of everything. Like I don't have to bother and I don't have to worry about that. So I just have to just make creative space. I have the freedom. I just have to create and give, and now everything is
Right.
going to be taken care of, to be honest. But
I,
yeah, promotion wise, it's just been all my amazing people on Instagram who have just shared. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Who've really just shared it through word of mouth. Who've been like, did you check her out? And I'm so grateful. I'm super grateful for that actually, because
super.
I never had the money to really promote what I had. So.
So today, I think that's the greatest advantage that technology has given us. Today, we don't have to rely on. Of course, it's amazing. It's lovely to hear that you're going to be signing with a label. That's really exciting, because I think things can really blow up. It's
Yeah.
possible, and the kind of content that you are coming up with, the level of originality that it
Thank
has,
you.
and I'm sure it needs to get to more people. And I think signing with a label is a great way to do that. But even without that, today I think the advantage that technology has given us
Yes.
is we have so many we can create our own production house. Like, you could have a YouTube for your videos, you could have an Instagram for your pictures, like you could just your entire
Mm.
production studio by yourself, and then you can go on Clubhouse where you put out your podcast. There are so many different ways you can do that. And like you rightly said, the real heroes, you know, or rather the people who really like your work, honestly like your work, honestly connect with what you're talking about, will always stay by you, and they'll do, you know, what probably you cannot as an individual do, but they will help you with that. That's so cool. Yeah, I think that's how it works.
What's Nejm? How did you come up with the stage name Nejm?
Can somebody say what Nejm means though in the comments if you know?
Tamil word truth. Is that what it is? Okay.
Real.
Real. Okay. Nejm.
Real.
Real.
So my username is keeping it Nejm. That means keeping it real.
Okay. All right. So that's
Okay.
very cool.
Thank you.
3 things about like growing your Instagram page, because you've been doing a very good job. You're very consistent with your content, right? So I just wanted to know what you can share with aspiring artists and learners about being on social media.
Okay, so what I learned from in these past 2 years was I wasn't active for like a year. Actually, 2021 I wasn't active, and the algorithm was so bad. It took me 6 months to get it back, you know, to normal. And now, past 2 months, my Instagram has just been blowing up just because I just post pictures and reels, and I just post a couple of stories. And so I suggest use your Instagram for promotion, yes, for your art, but also for you, who you are, your personality, and release your art on platforms where people can go and listen to it, like where music platforms like Spotify, Apple, Hangama, wherever you have to listen to, and use your Instagram for promotion, but also try to connect with your audience. You know, they are not going to just go and listen to a stranger, like some random chick they follow on Instagram. So rather, like, show your personality a bit on your Instagram, you know, like who you are, that you're not a rude person, or you don't have a resting B face, or you know, like yeah. So I feel like you should resonate more with your audience with your Instagram. Only then they will actually want to go listen to you.
So what was the process of releasing your first song?
It was super simple. So I was part of this other label with Tufan Sarthak. So it was called Too Saucy, and so we just opened an account uh, on Ditto actually, and then Ditto we just paid a little bit for the entire year a membership, and then they released it everywhere. But also when you release it like that, your song does not get on playlist. I mean, it's a little difficult that way, but with enough research and with enough like if you with enough patience, so if you submit a song to playlist, if you submit a song and wait for some time for the release, there is high chances for it to be on playlist. But if you want to have like an immediate release, like within 2 weeks or 1 week, that time it's honestly just going to be, if people like it, they're going to have to share it with word of mouth, or else that's the only way. You cannot expect like a great reach.
Okay. Movies like Gully Boy and all of that, like really popularized, like make rap a lot more mainstream here in India. But sometimes it really feels like it's very monotone. You know what I mean? But I love that Nejm said how much he focuses on the emotions, and that is such a huge part of what we do in PaatuClass. We speak so much about emotions, but to know that emotions are also such a big part of rap and so important to really bring that into the delivery was really interesting for me to listen to. So thank you for that sharing.
Yes, tell me more about this initiative though, because this is the first time I've actually heard about it, and I'd like to know more.
Okay, so the Pallikoodam is an initiative that we started in Nejm while we were in the COVID phase, where, you know, people were all stuck in their houses, figuring out how to get out. You know, we felt there was a need for people to connect through art. You know, and then we realized that there was also a possibility or an opportunity to kind of take it to an online space. But of course, there were a lot of barriers with that as well. So I think we started as an initiative after having a fair understanding of how we could bring art to everybody's home in a way that it's also effective. You know, it gives you a kind of an advantage, you know, in being the comfort of your house, but at the same time being immersed immersive learning, because that's something that art needs. So
Oh,
this is
that's
an
really
initiative
nice. Okay.
it's been a fun journey to kind of share and and kind of travel with them, in a sense, like go through an experience, a musical experience with your learners, and help them in one way or the other, and try and create more artists.
That is so cool. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
To
it's
give a
been
little more, to give a little more context, PaatuClass is a vocal training course, and it's taught by
all
Ranjith
right.
himself. So,
All right. Oh, CEO, boss. Okay, boss man is interviewing me. Thank you.
no,
yeah,
but it's
go on,
always
Ranjith.
it's always fun, Nejm, because we talk to a lot of our learners. We tell them as much, we share as much as we can, and all that. But it's always, you know, it's beautiful to have artists from different walks of life, in a sense. People who are discovering their own personality, like you seem to have discovered this identity, at a young age, and you've done that through by just completely immersing in your own experience, and figuring it out. And a lot of people have that struggle, because we live in a time where we have a lot of influences. We listen to somebody and we want to become them. There is the mindset that says, oh, I'm going to exactly do what that person did so that I can be where they are. And then we tell our learners that no, that's really, it's good to be inspired, it's good to be aspired by somebody else, but the real beauty of art lies within. There's a way that you can discover more. You can discover where you are and what you can do with regard to that, and for that you need to discover your originality, or dive deep inside. And to have somebody like you has done that at such a young age is always a pleasure, and